Hello and welcome to Flat Track Fever 2019, a WFTDA recognized tournament. We are so excited to bring you day one action, but game 5, I'm already tripping on my words. I'm Deathnella, joined by
Clumsy Lover.
And we are so excited to bring you this matchup between the Saskatoon Roller Derby League Killa Bees
and the Chinook City Natural Born Thrillers.
And we are going to have a look actually at the Killa Bees roster first. Very excited, all the way from Saskatoon. They are ready to go. And there have been some changes as well to the roster. We'll start with number 9 is McLeod 9. Number 1888 is Ripper. Number 78 Blondie. Number 999 Mad Max, who you have heard on the mic, and she is skating in this game. She was supposed to only start skating tomorrow, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Number 411 Amanda Stroyer. Number 89 your captain Pippi Longstompings. Number 131 Reese. Pterodactyl is not skating with the Killa Bees at this tournament. She will be skating with the Saskatoon Mindfox. So number 60 Gotham is there. Number 747 Hot Rod. Number 333 Savage. 98 Show Me. Number 5 Grandmaster Smash. That is the Kona Echo City Knockouts coach. Number 89 Kitty Creamer. Number 92 Dark Wheel Duck. Your coach is Mr. Bits and bench staff Pterodactyl and Ob Zombie.
And on the lineup for the Chinook City Roller Derby Natural Born Thrillers, we have number 52, Devnall, 84, Justice Bastacrash, number 94, Honey Smacks, number 710, Peacemaker, number 789, Van Awesome, 506, Mr. Twist, 662, Stupid Sexy Flanders, number 2104, and your captain for this game, Nailbender. Number 76, Mr. Blue. 00 Dodger Balls. Number 101, Rippin' Ruby. Number 41, Superfan. 911, Wolfblade Jr. Number 503, Rice Ball. 121, Smarty McFly. Number 987, Zombie, and number 42, Sparkette.
And perfect timing there, Clumsy Lover.
Oh, hey.
Finishing on Sparkette, who just gave a big bump in the air there, picked up 4 points, lead jammer on the first jam of this game. Really great effort there. And did want to give a shout out as well to the bench staff for the Natural Born Thrillers.
Yes, on the bench we've got Samuel Hawk, Darby Beeson, Brett Lamoureux, and Peyton Winters.
And Smash Bandicoot is also on the bench for SRDL Killa Bees. And on the line now with the star is Dark Wheel Duck for the Bees. And we
number
have
506, Mr. Twist for the Natural Born Thrillers.
And they have picked up lead jammer status, followed about a half lap behind by Dark Wheel Duck.
Natural Born Thrillers with a quick offensive play to get Mr. Twist out of the pack on a first scoring pass, putting 4 points on that board for that jam.
Yeah, it's going to be a close game. I'm really excited to see these guys play because we've also, when I say we, I used to play on the Killa Bees, and we've faced this team a number of times. And I know, Clumsy Lover, you also have some familiarity with the Natural Born Thriller skaters especially, and of course the Killa Bees.
Yeah, both teams are very familiar to me, which is super exciting to watch them come up against each other.
And now we have number 131, Reese, out on the line with the yellow star for the Killa Bees. But once again, it's Natural Born Thrillers.
And Rice Ball has the lead for the Natural Born Thrillers, number 403.
And the great thing about the Rice Ball is he has been bouncing from roll to roll to roll. Seen him behind the camera taking photos. He's helped on production. So it must be fun to get out there on skates and just give her.
He is also a current member of Men's Team Canada Roller Derby as well.
Wow, fantastic. And you can see why. Look at that. Just incredible footwork there on the inside of turn 3.
Yeah, a little hop and a skip on the inside line of corner 4 gets him 4 more points on that board.
We're seeing Grandmaster Smash out there for the Killa Bees. His first time in the yellow for the Bees. He's from Hawaii and wanted to skate in this tournament, figured out a way to do it with the Killa Bees. So that's kind of cool. And you could almost see he was already coaching out there a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not something that he can just like leave behind.
Yeah. That's tough. So when you get the opportunity to join
Yeah.
And I know he was eager to skate against a lot of the skaters who were on Natural Born Thrillers, and that
Yeah.
was part of the motivation.
Oh, fantastic. On the line, we have Sparkette for the Natural Born Thrillers, who's pushed down by number 98, Show Me Your Hurts.
Will it pay off for Show Me, though? Because Sparkette able to get a bit of that momentum, and it did pay off. Show Me Your Hits. Gets a forearm call, Clumsy Lover.
Oh, there we go.
And is off to the penalty box, and that means lead. Oh, no, look at that,
And
a cut track.
Sparkette is sent to the penalty box on a cut track penalty, so we'll have a jammer trade-off here in the penalty box, so we'll go for a full 2 minutes.
Very quick trade around there. And the pack right now in between turns 2 and 3, speeding up into turn 3 right as I say that. Sparkette finding their way back onto the track now, coming up against that pack. Well, not quite yet, but
He'll be there soon. Show Me fighting at the very front, trying to get through on that scoring pass. Sparkette is out first as Show Me tumbles out the front of the pack with a big smile on his face.
oh, I love that all day, Clumsy Lover. It's been smiles from all the skaters. This is such a great event. But they are here to play. Ooh, Sparkette showing just that.
Sparkette with a little apex jump there to get those points on the board. Show Me comes up against Devnall. Devnall is denying him any entrance into the pack.
Oh, you do not want to come up against Devnall at the back. You're not going to get much past.
No.
We have number 101, Rippin' Rudy as well, just keeping those lanes closed off to Show Me. Sparkette able to capitalize with 4 more points.
Van Awesome with a hit on Show Me to the outside line, bringing him all the way back to the pivot line, and that jam comes to its natural end after having both jammers go to the penalty box.
I was going to say, and that was an exciting one for the Killa Bees. 4 points on the board, or at least points on the board, I think we're confirming here. 4 there for Show Me at the end. And that's got to feel good. Just get on the board and start feeling your way through this.
Absolutely.
The Killa Bees always change just slightly from event to event. So even though they played last only on April 27th at home, not all of these skaters skated in that. So it's always a bit of an adjustment.
Oh.
And we have Mr. Twist out with the lead yet again for the Natural Born Thrillers.
And Darkwing Duck for the Killa Bees.
And Ducky, as he's known, nickname anyway, is one of the coaches of the Saskatoon Mindfox who played earlier today. So
That's right.
he's been on the bench. And Clumsy, I know you were on the bench earlier today.
I
So
was, yes.
really good perspective. You got to get all the different viewpoints of the tournament. So I will be reaching out to you on that because I want to know sometimes, especially with the new rules where there's no jammer lap point,
Yeah.
how that kind of changes your strategy a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to only having 4 points, you just have to capitalize on every scoring pass. And you just got to go for those points. There's not a whole lot more that you can do. On the flip side, it is kind of nice to have that even playing ground, though.
Yeah, so those power jams, they still hurt a little bit, but not quite the same.
No, that's right.
Yeah, and here we have number 9, McLeod9 out for the Bees. Just a fierce look, but she is battling from behind here.
Nailbender is pushed to the outside by number 131, who's sent to the penalty box on a low block, I believe.
And it just looks like it's recycling here for those jammers, but right as I say that, Nailbender gets 4 points there.
Killa Bees with some great offensive help for their jammer there, but Rice Ball at the front catches their jammer.
And it looks like there is an attempted star pass, but I don't know if the pivot's even out on the track. I believe the pivot is in the penalty box right now.
Yeah, the pivot is standing in the penalty box, so she'll return here shortly and help her jammer out.
So possible that if Reese explodes out of the penalty box and is able to make that pass, be great, but once again, you don't always want to make a move like that at the back of the pack.
All right, we've got lots of derby happening there. Not sure exactly what's going on there. Nailbender forces a multiplayer.
That was a lot going on there, Clumsy.
It was a lot.
And while you were focused on that, I saw a beautiful star pass did
fantastic.
actually take place, and it worked out so well because Reese was perfectly positioned for it and scooted out, but right as the jam was called.
Yeah.
And we are going to see the star passes a lot more. I know SRDL has put a lot of emphasis in returning to that strategy, especially since the jammer lap numbers are, it's different now.
It's such a great tool. It's a great tool to use as a strategy, just to get that star through the pack.
And the familiarity to know that your pivot's there for you.
Absolutely.
And when to count on them.
Yeah. And so we've got Sparkette out for the Natural Born Thrillers, number 42, up against Show Me, number 98 for the Killa Bees.
And the pack is speeding up right now. Nice hit there, attempted hit there by a man destroyer. Oh boy, the crowd is really loud in here, which is great. We want that.
I think it's about time for my earplugs.
I left mine at home, but I'll get some for tomorrow because we want to be able to hear each other, and it's awesome when it's loud, and we want that.
Absolutely.
The crowd today has been great. There's a beer gardens going on here at the Acadia Rec Center in Calgary.
There's a skate ramp at the back there, which is super exciting.
Very great. We also want to say a big thank you to the tournament co-hosts in just a moment because the action's about to get underway. Only 2 Killa Bee blockers out there, though, try to help Darkwheel Duck.
Killa Bees are back at full strength on the track now. And the Natural Born Thrillers lose a blocker.
And it is
Darkwheel
a
Duck
tough...
is fighting.
Didn't mean to speak over you there. It was a tough line up against there for Ducky. Coming up against Rice Ball. And number 710,
Mr. Twist.
Peacemaker, the captain of Natural Born Thrillers.
Oh.
And it is exciting. We haven't even mentioned our fantastic producer who's joining us on the broadcast. That's Sonia Blade. She has skated today. She's been on the call twice, including the one right before this. We're so, so grateful for all the announcers who have made time, especially our skater announcers, because I know it's a lot in a day when you're doing a lot of things going on. But it is also a really great way to check out the competition, right?
Absolutely. Yep, you got it.
And we've got Reese out with the star for the Killa Bees and Zombie, yeah, I was like, I'm saying that wrong for sure. Zombie out with the star for Natural Born Thrillers.
Reese is pushed to the inside and pulled all the way to the jammer line as Zombie exits on the inside of corner 2 for your lead jammer. Reese fighting those last blockers. Rice Ball hits her to the outside. Rice Ball does well to do double duty. He can block and he can jam.
And there's so much skill involved with being able to understand the dynamics and when and where to be on the track as a blocker. And that really is just amplified and enhanced when you're able to jam and you can recognize, now I know where to be, now I know how to get in the way.
Yeah, exactly. So Natural Born Thrillers jammer went to the penalty box on a cut track penalty. And Reese exits on her initial pass. So the Killa Bees are on a power jam at the moment.
And it looks like the Killa Bees are perhaps setting up more defensively than offensively because look at that, Zombie is out of the penalty box.
Rice Ball with a hit on Reese, 1-3-1 to the outside, bringing him back all the way to corner 3. As Zombie exits on a scoring pass. Reese doing her best to get through on her first scoring pass. And big hit from number 5, Killa Bees.
Yeah, that's Grandmaster Smash, able to, live up to his name a little bit. When you're coaching with that name, not really going to see a lot of that, so very exciting for him. And 4 more points for Natural Born Thrillers. A quick update on the score, which of course you can see, but it's 61 for Natural Born Thrillers and 4 for the Killa Bees.
And we're about halfway through this half.
And it looks like now we're seeing a bit more discussion on the line. Show me making it clear what he wants from his blockers. We'll see how this plays out on this power start, actually.
That's right.
And they're doing the no pack dash is what I've decided to call it.
I like that. That's awesome.
Oh, but Devnell caught him clumsy, and when that happens, it's almost all for naught at that point.
Yeah.
So now we're
then
back to
you gotta go
square
all
one.
O. Yep. Yeah, offense is a really tricky one. You have to either go all O or no go. So.
And oddly enough, earlier today I saw a lot more no go than go, but now as the day is playing out, we're seeing it a bit more. And wow.
And this is the first lead for the Killa Bees.
Never mind, it has not been established yet, which means we may have spoken too soon, and we did in this case. Zombie getting out of the box. Of course, you're still eligible for lead at that point and able to capitalize on that. That's A-okay. That's what happens.
That is exciting. It was so close. It was so close.
It's so close, but of course, once we see that, or once we hear the whistle more than anything.
Show me removing the star, doing his best to do a star pass. This pivot is waiting there for him.
And that's a tough one for the Killa Bees because just one chance to control the game a bit will be helpful in terms of getting obviously more points on the board, but even just getting back mentally into it. I mean, we're still so early on, and I'm excited to see what they can do, and it's finding who works well with whom on the track,
That's right? Yep. Yep.
That was a great moment there. Dark Wheel Duck, nice big hug to Sparkette.
100% leads to 0. Oh, wow.
Oh, but look at that!
And Dark
Sonya
Wheel
Blade, you
Duck.
can now put it down. First
It's
lead for the
official.
Killa Bees, yeah.
Sonya throws the paper. She's like, see it happen.
And that was an emphatic first lead as well. Dark Wheel Duck running up the outside lane, and that's why the crowd just erupted here. Flapjack Fever picked up 2 points for his efforts. Thought maybe I should have gotten more, but 2 it is.
Yep.
And that's got to feel good just to have that slight momentum shift.
And that's the first scoreless jam for the Natural Born Thrillers so far. So well done on Killa Bees to
just
deny them any points.
bit of a change of pace, and now we have McLeod 9 up against Mr. Twist. Also, tricky start for the Killa Bees in the sense that they are taking the front line quite often, and that might not be their friend in this case. Oh, Mr. Twist just what
Makes
was
it look
that
easy.
even? I know. Talk about
They make
lateral
it look
movement.
so easy. And McLeod is out on their initial pass as Mr. Twist re-enters the back up on corner 2. A little bit of offensive help, a little juke and a deke. Tap on the hips. Done and done with 4 points
And
on the board.
incredible. Yeah, I mean, when I see moments like that, Clumsy, I go, oh, what? I want to snapshot this and send it to everyone who's learning to skate and going, like myself even, well, why are edges so important? Why is lateral movement
Like,
so
I want to be like that
right
when
there?
I grow up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great example. And we do.
We have a new jammer on the line for the Natural Born Thrillers. We have 0-0 Dodger Ball up against number 98, Show Me Your Hurts.
Ooh.
Big hit to the outside by Basta Crash. Number 84 from the Natural Born Thrillers. We've got a whistle. Dodger Balls is in the penalty box, so we've got a power jam for the Killa Bees.
And that was a little bit of a hard go there for Dodger Balls to get to the penalty box. Kind of tricky when everyone's in your way. And that makes the second lead of the game for Saskatoon Killa Bees. It's Show Me Your Hits. Feeling pretty good about that. And there's almost no offense or time for offense here. Dodger Ball able to back that Killa Bees wall up into his own blocker and escape out no problem.
So at this point, the Killa Bees need to be putting some offensive pressure on the Natural Born Thrillers.
Meanwhile,
The look of despair, like, come on, guys.
yes. And Nailbender doing a phenomenal job just hanging out at the back. And Devnell, of course, having to high-five Nailbender because they basically do a lot of the same things, just hang out at the back. Cool kids at the back, they say.
Yeah, this is their highest scoring jam since jam number 4.
This is the Killa Bees' highest scoring jam since jam 4. You're picking up those points little by little. But I mean, this is a growing experience, a learning experience, and it's so fun for the Killa Bees to be out here and at Flat Track Fever. They weren't able to come out last year, so this is great.
So on the line for Natural Born Killers, we have number 42, Sparkette, up against number 92.
Darkwheel Duck.
For the Killa Bees.
But it's Sparkette who takes lead. Love the style. I'm not someone who ever comments on derby style because everyone's got their own, but I love the one pant leg thing rocking. It's great.
Yeah.
I'll go with that. And it makes the apex jump look even that much more flashier.
Let me just jump the straightaway.
Awesome. Yeah, that's true. That was a straightaway jump, which is even more impressive. Can you do those, Clumsy?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not really a jumper. I'm more
No?
of a hitter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to see Clumsy do her hits tomorrow night. She's in the big Battle of Alberta.
I am, yes.
Playing on Evil Edmonton. Evil
Yeah.
Edmonton. Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Up against CRD, right? Just CRD?
CRDA, yeah.
Yep. The All-Stars from Calgary. So that's going to be an incredible game. But meanwhile, back to this action. Oh!
All
And
right.
that's another lead for Show Me Your Hits.
So we had some serious patience by both jammers, and Show Me waited just long enough to get the opportunity to run down that outside line to get lead jammer. Third time he's 3 for 3 for his last 3 jams now.
And that must feel so good when you're looking at the way that these stats have played out this game. Meanwhile, Mr. Twist getting a little twisted up on themselves. Oh, that was a big landing. They're being assessed, good to go, but Grandmaster Smash once again laying that hit. Legal, fully legal.
Yep. Natural Born Thrillers are doing their best to give some offensive pressure on that Killa Bees.
Oh, and Show Me Your Hit getting in there with a hit himself. Oh. But even though the jam was called, a back
We've got
block
a back
penalty
block.
has been assessed to Show Me Your Hit. And this is the second time, Clumsy, that I've actually seen at this tournament where the jam has ended and then pretty much right at that moment that penalty has been assessed, which is an interesting dynamic because in a way the team, now the other team gets a power start, so there is that.
Well, the thing is it happens that way because what happens is that the jammer ref is on the inside, and with the refs on the outside, they see different things. So oftentimes if they see a penalty that should require, or something that requires a penalty issued, it just happens afterwards. It's unfortunate, but it happens.
And while we talk, Van Awesome with the star for the first time this game, well, he picks up lead.
Yeah. Natural Born Thrillers pick up their last blocker from the penalty box as Van Awesome dodges a hit from one of the Killa Bees blockers.
Yeah, Gotham there for the Killa Bees, trying to lay one on Van Awesome, didn't quite land that hit, and so she went out, he stayed in.
So Show Me exited the box from completing his penalty, and he's got the star in hand. And McLeod is out there as the pivot. So I'm wondering if maybe they're looking to complete a star pass at some point.
She's being called back, but that's not
yeah.
exactly the position you want to be in. And so what we're seeing right now is Show Me's using that as a good distraction.
Absolutely. Cause the chaos.
Yeah.
Cause the chaos.
There
and
you go. Oh.
capitalize on it. There we go.
Dodger balls trying to knock Show Me out there, but not quite. It's been a fun game of pinball that we've seen so far. Little tiny spill on the track.
All right, with a no pack call, Show Me gets out on a free pass at the front of the pack for 4 points.
And that crowd you're hearing cheering, that's definitely the Mind Fox. They had to come show their support for the Killa Bees. And we have a cut track penalty assessed to, it's a blocker?
No, Van Assem is in the penalty box.
Ah.
So Killa Bees are on a power jam at the moment.
At a standstill, though, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe it was Hot Rod, blocker for Killa Bees, who was assessed that, which actually caused a little bit of confusion. I think that's what caused that delay there.
Yeah.
But Van Assem is standing, but will not start the jam on the track. So once again, a moment for the Killa Bees to capitalize. I wonder how they're going to play this one. The last time it was the backwards pack, as I like to call it.
The run back, yep. This time they're going to go in for some offensive pressure.
Duck taking the outside lane that was opened up by Grandmaster Smash. He still has yet to get lead, and Grandmaster Smash lays a forearm, though, gets sent to the penalty box for that effort. It's still anybody's lead to win, and it's Darkwheel Duck who takes it.
And that, I believe, is his first lead jam status for this game.
And a hard-fought one, too.
Mm-hmm. Killa Bees are picking up their momentum here. Doing their best to get lead jammer status. Van Assem skating backwards around the pack on the outside to complete a 4-point scoring pass.
Meanwhile, we have blockers exchanging places in the penalty box. Grandmaster Smash is out. We have 2 blockers in the box for Natural Born. 3 blockers in the box for Natural Born Thrillers. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
What is going on at this point? Yeah, we had 1 sent back to the track because there's not enough space in the penalty box.
And now with 1 blocker standing in the penalty box, they'll bring back Mr. Blue to complete his penalty.
And on track for the high.
Eventually they'll send Mr. Blue back to the penalty box to complete his penalty. There he goes.
It's just round and around right now. It's intriguing. Meanwhile, the pack hasn't stopped moving at all because it's so thinned out.
Yep.
Rice Ball putting on some pressure there on Grandmaster Smash.
Darkwheel attempting a nice height change to get through on the outside, but is denied by Natural Born Thrillers blockers.
Oh, a big apex attempt there, but see where that lands him. Oh, not any efforts for that one.
No, Van Assem with some high fives.
And by far the highest scoring gem for the Killa Bees. Essentially half their points, almost, not quite, but 14 right there to bring it to 35 for the Killa Bees. 102, look at that, cross the century mark there for the Natural Born Thrillers.
Yeah, we've got 3 minutes left on the board for this half.
And we have a timeout called, Clemsy, and actually, I don't know if you can answer this question or not, but we haven't seen a lot of team timeouts at the tournament so far. Like, there have been some games where, like, now might not be a bad time to take a timeout, but as someone who actually does coach and bench manage, what sort of insight can you give me on that? Like, why, when is a good time, when isn't a good time?
Well, ideally you want to try to keep your timeouts for a time when you can give everybody a break where you can capitalize on it. When you've got just a few minutes left in a jam or in a half, you can take a nice penalty, like a nice kind of a break at that point. You only get so many timeouts per game, so you don't want to use them unless you absolutely have to. Especially if you're running a really short jammer bench, you want to try to just hold on to those timeouts to give your jammers some time.
So I see what you're saying. So it can be advantageous sometimes to just let it roll, especially if the momentum's good, right?
Yeah, especially if you're up on points, even if your blockers and your jammers are tired, you have the opportunity to kind of relax a little bit because you know you have that buffer of like being ahead in points. So that makes a really, really big difference.
And that big cheer you hear, that is for Show Me Your Hits, another lead jammer status. Big smiles there. Up against Sparkette, who was getting lead quite a bit earlier on in the game. So a good matchup possibly there.
And Sparkette runs down the inside line, kind of looks over, kind of miffed.
I don't even know. That smile was absolutely everything. Sparkette beaming as they ran. That was the best run as well. It was a straight up sprint. So even though Show Me has lead, there's a lot going on. And right now,
And Show Me calls it. Big jam out there for the Killa Bees. Natural Born Thrillers putting 8 points on that board and 4 for the Killa Bees. Bringing the score to 110-39 with 2.5 minutes left on the board.
And we have Reese with the gold star, I'll say. It's yellow. It really is yellow. And the yellow Bees jerseys are brand new this season. They're very excited to wear it. I believe, well, this is one of their first times wearing them. They did get to wear them as well at home in the game against the NFRD Boom, who you will also see at Flat Track Fever.
Yes. Yeah, there's been a lot of really nice new jerseys this weekend to see.
It's almost as though all the evolution that's taking place now has a much more visible presence, because we have seen the level of skating increase across Western Canada, and now just the overall look as well.
Yeah, the caliber of skating has definitely increased over the last few years when it comes to jamming and blocking.
And I personally want to talk about this because I think it's super cool. You were at Big O last weekend.
I was,
so
yes.
Talking about high level or high caliber skating, how was that?
It was amazing. We had such a good time. We were 2 and 2. 2 of our sanctioned games we won by very few points, and we lost our very last sanctioned game by only 2 points. It was extremely exciting.
Yeah.
Very well matched with the teams that were there for sure.
And that's got to feel good. We've seen some of those games today. We've seen some games that have been a little bit more of a lead with the goals, or points. Goals. What am I doing? This is Debbie. Anyway, while we're chatting, Rice Ball has managed to scoop up lead jammer status.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rice Ball actually is back on the jammer line after blocking for quite a few jams.
Killa Bees have not been effective on the straightaway in covering that inside line, and that's cost them now with Sparkette twice and with Rice Ball. And that is a jammer penalty against the Killa Bees.
Yep. Yeah, so Dark Wheel Duck will sit for 30 seconds as Rice Ball goes out there to score some more points.
Rice Ball basically going through that pack pretty much untouched, able to keep that momentum. I think we're going to see a very high score at the end of this for Natural Born Thrillers. Wow, look at that subtle move by Dev now. I say subtle, it's not really. That takes a lot of thinking and understanding to know where to be.
And the patience. Yeah, absolutely. Blocker patience is so crucial when it comes to offensive help.
I feel like that's why offense has been, it's so difficult to teach that, because you just want to go, go, go. You're on skates, you have the adrenaline pumping. It's having the experience, and I think it's fair to say that the Natural Born Thrillers do have, on the whole, a lot more experience than the Killa Bees skaters on a whole. But this is what Flat Track is about. It's about growing, it's about learning, and we're seeing a tremendous effort there by Gotham to knock Rice Ball back.
Ooh, a fancy flip around those blockers for Rice Ball as he gets through on the inside of corner 3, calling it off with a huge jam for the Natural Born Thrillers, putting 24 points on the board. And that'll bring us to our intermission.
What?
I know, it's just like that. That half is over.
I honestly was not paying any attention to the clock, which is probably a little bit bad of me, but it also just shows you how much fun we're having here.
Yeah.
That's right, Flat Track Fever. This is game 5 of day 1, and we have so much more coming right up. I'm Deathnella.
I'm Clumsy Lover.
And we'll be back right after this break. And welcome back to Flat Track Fever 2019, a WFTDA recognized tournament. We are at the halfway mark of a thrilling match between Saskatoon Roller Derby League Killa Bees, and Natural Born Thrillers from Calgary Roller Derby, right?
No, Chinook City.
Chinook City, that's right. There's an
Yes.
extra C in there.
Yes.
Ah.
CCRD, not CRD.
And you know
Yeah.
what? The reason why they're so lovingly linked is because this fantastic tournament is hosted by Calgary Roller Derby and Chinook City Roller Derby.
That's right. That's right. They actually joined teams to put this whole event together, and it's been just remarkable.
It has been so wonderful to be part of the behind the scenes, see it all come together. This is what it's all about. When the day is here and the action's on the track, it's like, oh, all those months of work and worry, well, it was worth it.
It comes together, yeah, and it's been fantastic.
And speaking of people who work diligently, not quite behind the scenes, in this case, we're talking about our skating officials. And the crew for this one is the breadwinners. They all have names involving bread. I love it. It's their theme. So there's Wonder Bread, Breadwinners, Flatbread, but this crew is Breadwinners, and that includes Sweet Justice, Hang 11, Nitro, Jeff, Short Fuse, Nice Guy Eddie, Vic, and Scrappy.
And off skates today, we have the Sugar Shane group. We have Sugar Shane, Slim Shadow, Agent of Wield, James T. Smirk, Twinkle Toes, Snow Mercy, Xena, Mr. Nitro, Honey Smacks, and Mama Corn.
And
And without them, we would not be able to do this.
Exactly. That's why we have to give a shout out. And I find non-skating officials are always the most humble, and they're like, oh, you don't have to worry about how to pronounce my name. It's like, yes, we do. You are so important. We would not be able to have roller derby without you. And I always encourage anyone who's listening to the stream, watching the stream, if you haven't already gotten involved in your local roller derby league, you can do so on skates or off.
All right, on the line we have Dodger Balls for the Natural Born Thrillers, who is your lead jammer, up against number 98, Show Me, for Killa
And
Bees.
Show Me out of the pack just in time for Dodger Balls to call it. And you were telling me that you have skated with Dodger Balls in mixed gender games as well.
I have, yeah. He actually joined us last year at a tournament in Fort McMurray. Mm-hmm.
And Fort McMurray is here as a mixed gender team, and it's so cool that they're in the same province and yet 7 hours away, or however long
About
it is.
8, actually. It takes almost 8 hours to get here from Fort
So
McMurray.
kudos to all the teams who've traveled here. I mean, that's what roller derby in Western Canada is like.
Yeah, absolutely.
But wow, we sometimes forget even in the same province, it's a heck of a trek. And as I say that, Sparkcat dancing their way out for lead.
Dark Wheel Duck on the outside of corner 2 with Van Awesome hot on his heels, and he gets by to complete his lead, his initial pass. Sparkcat running on their toe stops, calling it off.
I don't think I'll ever get tired of seeing their smile and their little sprinty dancey steps. It's so great. And I just love it. The positivity is infectious here, and that's what makes this tournament so great. This is my first time at Flat Track Fever. Clumsy, I know it's not yours. I have wanted to come here every year since I started skating about 3 years ago. Hadn't been able to make it work, so it's just great to be here and to see what everyone has been talking about.
Yeah, I've been to every single one.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So this is year number
Surprisingly.
8 for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the first time it is recognized as a WFTDA tournament. The bracket we are watching right now is the mixed gender bracket.
That's right.
So it's not WFTDA sanctioned, obviously, but that's what makes it such a great event, because you get to see all different skaters getting together on the track, and it's been non-stop high-level derby.
The mixed gender aspect of derby really has changed the game. Men's derby can be really, really fast, and women's derby can be quite kind of more controlled and kind of grinding. So to put the two together, it sure makes an awesome dynamic.
And just as we say that, the Killa Bees are able to do a lovely star pass. Of course, that forces the call off there. 4 points for the Natural Born Thrillers. Oh, and look at that. We're going to see a new jammer on the line for the Killa Bees. It's the coach of the Echo City Knockouts, Grandmaster Smash. Going up against Zombri. And look at that, Zombri able to find the inside lane there, managing to get past Gotham right at the end of the pack there.
Oh, fancy turnaround footwork on the inside line of corner 2 as Smash gets out on his initial pass.
And putting on the speed there. So the Hawaii team from Kona, they arrived Wednesday to Calgary. It's Friday now. So they were able to kind of settle in here, get their bearings. Very jealous of everyone's tans that they brought along from sunny Hawaii. As we're all coming out of winter, like.
Wouldn't that just be nice to just be that everyday thing? You know, that amazing bronze tan. Yeah.
And I don't even think they realize it until they come to an event like this where everyone's like, nobody has a tan here. That's just the way it is. All right, back to the action. We have Sparkette and Darkwheel Duck facing off once again. They've been a pretty solid matchup, although Sparkette was being matched more with Show Me.
Yeah.
Either way, Sparkette able to capitalize and get lead jammer status. Oh, doing a do-si-do there with their own
locker
teammate.
Yeah. Darkwheel Duck is fighting on corner 1 to still get through on their initial pass as Devnil pushes them out to the outside of the pack or the track.
Oh, look at that. That was a little...
Sparkette with some fancy work on his footstops on the outside of corner 2 to get through on a scoring pass.
I feel like that run clumsy, it needs a name, and it might be the Sparky feet. I don't know.
Oh, Sparky feet.
Oh!
And the Killa Bees force a call off by Sparkette. Tripping them up.
Oh, just got away on them there. Sparkette doing a little... I just love it, though. Like, I have to laugh because everyone's laughing. This is what's so great about it. I don't know if you can see their smiles all the way at home on the stream. I really hope so because it's phenomenal. Some great nonverbal communication there happening between Nailbender and Mr. Twist. And it's...
Nailbender with some offensive help at the front for Mr. Twist.
Paid
as
off.
number 131 fights at the back against those black blockers to get through on their initial pass.
It's hard to say for sure whether there's a lot of communication happening across the track. It's quite loud in this venue, but I am seeing a lot more really focused communication with the Natural Born Thrillers team, and that's what you're going to see when you have the veteran experience and just the confidence that comes with that experience.
Yeah, the number one thing that really helps with offensive help is the communication, whether it's verbal or nonverbal. That 2 seconds to make that communication makes all the difference.
And those 2 seconds can feel like an eternity when you're out there, but really it goes by so fast, especially when you come back and you watch it.
Mr. Twist taking the outside for a scoring pass as the Killa Bees do their best to give some offensive pressure for their jammer. Mr. Twist calls it off with a huge jam. 12 points on the board for Mr. Twist. We've got 22 minutes left on the scoreboard for this game. And we've got a new matchup in jammers now.
Ah, yes we do.
Number 84, Basta Crash for Natural Born Thrillers up against Show Me, number 98.
And Bastard Crash, this is their first time as well on the line, so that'll be an exciting change-up. Coming up against a Man Destroyer and getting by Blondie Lawless there at the front of the pack. Pack is speeding up. It's not really to the Killa Bees' advantage. They're trying to get together now. Oh!
Basta Cash running through the pack, getting through on a first scoring pass for 4 points.
Those speed change-ups, I tell you.
Show Me seems surprised. Show Me on the inside line of corner 3 seems surprised to get by the pack, getting through for 4 points. No, that was his initial pass. My apologies.
And that was a tough jam there for the Killa Bees, especially when the blockers are blocking blockers and it's just piling up. But wow, what an effort by both teams.
So Killa Bees are switching it up. We've got a new jammer on the line, number 89.
It's their captain, Pippi
Their captain.
Longstompings.
Ah, there we go. So they're looking to change it up. They haven't scored any points since jam 18 in the first half.
And it is smart to do that. Like, let's get some of those other jammers out there, especially when you have a point differential like we're at right now. You might as well take that time. Great learning. And you never know what's going to click, perhaps. You do get a better matchup out there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And putting in some fresh legs and some different skills out there makes a big difference.
Or you can just do the sparky legs, as I want to call them, and dance your way around that. Oh, but it is a power jam situation now for the Natural Born Thrillers. I didn't quite see the call there for Pip.
Devnell with a nice big offensive push at the front of the pack, getting Sparkette out on the inside line of corner 4.
Meanwhile, are the Killer Bees going to stay there? Oh, it looks like they're swarming together at the right time to keep Sparky at bay. Sparkette, rather, not Sparky.
Little apex jump there for Sparkette for another 4 points on the board. Killa Bees jammer is standing in the penalty box, waiting to return to the track as the Natural Born Thrillers reform on corner 2.
A great effort there by Amanda Stroyer to keep Sparkette at bay, but once again, it's really hard to slow him down. Gotham able to get a piece there.
Only takes a sliver.
Oh, but then right back at it. Coming up against Hot Rod and Amanda Stroyer. Getting caught up. Oh, big hit by Gotham.
Well done.
And it's the exact same spot that Sparkette is forced to make that call. It's right in front of the announcer's table so we can see the smile and the joy. But that was a great hit by Gotham. She's really come a long way. I was fortunate enough to get to see her as a junior and then come into SRDL 2 years ago and join the adult ranks, if you will. She has skated in the States against really big teams with veteran players, and it's great to see her come into her own and find that groove. And that was a phenomenal hit. It's just fun to see that.
It was perfectly timed. All right, so Mr. Twist is out for your lead jammer for the Natural Born Thrillers, up against number 9. I believe that's McLeod for the Killa Bees.
It definitely is. I can spot those camo pants anywhere. Kind of the hilarious irony with camo pants.
Yeah.
Oh, and she's like, "Excuse me, Mr. Blue, I'm coming through."
See ya. Yep. So close, so close.
I did love the sass on that one. That was great.
Yeah, McLeod did well to stay on the track, even though there was a lot of pressure on her to get her off the track, ducking through those black blockers and getting through on her initial pass.
Oh, and now we're going to see Smash and Rice Ball. And we did have a couple stats on Rice Ball, in that he had 2 jams in the first half and scored 36 points, actually tied with Sparkette, who had 6 jams in the first half and also clocked 36 points in that first half. So he's a point scorer when he's out there. I think we need to change, instead of a snowball effect, it's a rice ball effect that happens out there with the scoring.
Oh, big apex jump over the last 2 Killa Bees blockers.
And if you're wondering where the yellow star went, Grandmaster Smash is in the penalty box at this moment.
Yeah, it went out on a cut track. Show me doing his best to catch Rice Ball. And Rice Ball with a big smile just comes around the corner.
He's posing for the cameras, Clumsy. We know that.
Right, yeah.
The photographer gets to be the model for once. And as we say that, Grandmaster Smash is now back on the track.
Rice Ball pushing the Killa Bees far enough to get a no pack. And Smash returns from the penalty box and completes his initial pass.
And he wants so badly to get some points on the board there for the Bees. Doesn't quite make it. What an effort.
So we've nearly hit the halfway mark of this half. This game is nearly over. All the jammers have worked so hard to put those points up on the scoreboard.
We have Van Awesome with the star for the Natural Born Thrillers and Dark Wheel Duck for the Killa Bees.
So these two jammers have jammed already in this game, but they haven't matched up against each other yet. So it'll be interesting to see the difference. Oh, there we go. So Van Awesome charges down the outside line for the lead jammer status.
And then the Killa Bees pivot Pip trying to provide some offense, and Duck able to work with that, able to use a little bit of that offense to get through.
Oh, you know what I also noticed is that Sparkette is out there as a blocker as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Barely noticed them because I'm so used to seeing the dancing moves on the jam line.
Yeah,
Come on.
exactly. Donning the pivot panty. Well played, yeah.
I mean, that's likely where you'll find a jammer slash blocker, but not always. And here we see two chatty Cathys out on the line there. We have Reese with the star for the Killa Bees.
And Honey Smacks for the Natural Born Thrillers.
Is this Honey Smack's first jam this
I think
bout?
so.
Yeah.
I think so. If she has jammed before, it's been a long time.
We got the
since
thumbs
the first
up
half.
from producer Sonia Blade saying, yep, that's her first, and her first lead.
There we go.
And we're hearing the crowd erupt from the beer gardens here.
Fast to crash with a big hit on the Killa Bees jammer, pushing her to the inside. As the Natural Born Thrillers jammer gets out on a scoring pass.
And Reese, meanwhile, out on her initial. And a bump there by Ripper on Honey Smacks. Will call off that jam, leaving the Killa Bees scoreless yet again.
Yes.
Everyone's spirits seem to be really high, and that's fantastic. I mean, that's what we're here for. It's great as announcers to see that and to just know that everyone's here to learn and grow.
I have to admit, I've smiled so much today, my face hurts.
It's a good pain to have. Oh!
For reals, it's been an amazing day.
Van Awesome able to get by real fast there, causing Savage from the Killa Bees to spill a little on the track, but coming now for points. And the floor, I don't know, maybe perhaps the floor is causing a little bit of issues. I'm seeing it every game.
It's extremely slippery out there is what I've heard. So it's tough to get used to for some skaters. Show Me taking on Rice Ball, both big smiles, and Show Me gets through on the inside line. Natural Born Thrillers give some offensive help for Van Awesome.
And there was a big cheer there as McLeod 9 took on Van Awesome. Unfortunately, she also took a spill, so that means Van Awesome could re-enter the track, no problem. But
so we've got Wolfblade Jr. on the bench for the Natural Born Thrillers, trying to get the attention of Mr. Van Awesome to try to call it. Van Awesome is just bumping his hand up in the air, celebrating his fun jam. And finally,
his eyes were everywhere but on the coach, which was great. It was just funny to see. Just lost in the moment. And it really helped the Bees because it was their first time scoring this half, picking up 4 points, bringing them up. So that's got to feel good.
Oh, yeah.
And Wolfblade Jr., who Clumsy you mentioned is on the bench, also a Team Canada skater. I got to watch him last year at JRDA World Cup.
That's right.
Which was really great. Phenomenal skater.
Yeah, he's actually an alternate on the men's Team Canada team as well at the moment.
It really is nowhere but up for all of the junior skaters. Actually, just all of the skaters in general. We've seen that here today, proven in the caliber. And this time, Dodger Balls is looking. But there is a directional call. That's on Grandmaster Smash, but he's wearing the pivot helmet cover this time and not the star.
Yeah. Oh, dodger ball on 1 foot sneaks by the Killa Bees to put 4 points on that board. Dark Wheel's got 4 points in his pocket already for this jam.
Oh!
As he takes on one last blocker at the front.
Yeah, he's getting by a Bastard Smash.
Natural Born Thrillers regain 1 blocker.
Killa Bees possibly goading Rip and Rudy, but not quite. Gotham again with a big with support from Grandmaster
He just
Smash.
makes it look easy. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna smash. There you go. Nice.
I love that. Was a great use of the distraction in a way. Oh yeah, you're caught up on those other 3 blockers. Well,
Oh, let me just get you over here. Smash. Love it.
see, this is the fun when you get to watch and you're not actually playing and you're not feeling those hits. You get to just enjoy them.
Yep.
But we have Reese up against Nail Bender, and I do believe this is the first time they are matched up as well.
Yes, they're matched up for the first time so far. Nailbender has jammed 1 or 2 jams so far.
And Sparkette is out there with the pivot, so either way, Natural Born Thrillers are closing it down. But look at that lead for Nailbender. And that is our own Mad Max. I say our own because she was on team announcer earlier, getting caught up there on turn 1. And it's a power jam for Natural Born Thrillers because Reese was into the penalty box there.
Nailbender pushing through the Killa Bees line, getting through for 4 points. Everybody is set for the re-entry of the Natural Born Thrillers jammer.
And it appears the passive approach to just allowing the offense to do the offense doesn't work so great for defense. But look at that. Blondie Lawless able to get Nailbender back in his place. Pretty effective penalty kill there, Clumsy.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, to keep Nailbender down to only 2 passes in 30 seconds, that's an achievement in itself, absolutely.
Especially when we've seen so many multi-pass jams that have basically spiraled in those situations.
Yeah.
That is a phenomenal win.
So far the Natural Born Thrillers are staying quite clean on the jammer line, and we haven't had any jammer penalties so far in this half from the Natural Born Thrillers, which is a feat on its own.
It really is, because you look at just trying to rein in forearm calls alone can be tricky. And so to have that, once again, you're seeing the experience comes into play. And of course, it always shows in the points. Penalties always show in the points. And we have Mr. Twist out in front with lead.
Showme's fighting that wall at the edge of corner 2. Rice ball takes Showme all the way back to corner 1. Mr. Twist with a juke to get out of the pack.
Oh, nice little t-shirt whip. Oh, but that causes a cut track for Showme. He thought he was in the clear there, got the t-shirt whip off Grandmaster Smash, but must have stepped on the inside line.
So Rice ball with a nice offensive play there on the inside line of the apex of corner 3 there for their jammer.
And Grandmaster Smash trying to hold back. All of that offensive help actually worked. What a strategy. There you go. That's definitely one way to take it. Hey,
Absolutely.
blockers, you get information. I'm going to try and stave off this offense.
I'm just going to shark everybody. It's all good.
And worked. There you go. And Clumsy, like, I have noticed that too. Like, sometimes teams, they just let the offense happen. Like, in those moments, what sort of approach should they be taking possibly?
Ideally, you want to set up a shark kind of like what we had in that last jam. You want to protect your formation from that offensive help. So when you do that, then you're preventing anything from happening to your formation.
And I think for the first time, definitely the first time this tournament, we have seen the backwards pack used against a Saskatoon group because both the Mind Fox and the Killa Bees have used that maneuver on a power start. It worked for Natural Born Thrillers. Dodger Balls has lead and already into the scoring passes.
Natural Born Thrillers are doing their best to run this clock down. Dodger Ball gets out of the pack, putting 4 points on the board, and calls it off just in the nick of time to deny any points to the Killa Bees.
That was a close call, Clumsy. I really thought perhaps Show Me squeak by with even 1 point.
I was wondering. I was waiting to see if I got some fingers up there.
And of course, those at home, if you're new to Derby, what you're looking for is the hips passing hips. And that's what can be so deceiving when you're not right up close like the officials are.
Yeah.
What a great offensive maneuver there by Van Awesome, then immediately settling into defense. Okay, coaches, note that mark there. Really great footage to watch back. Sparkette with lead.
And McLeod is out on their initial pass as Sparkette re-enters on a scoring pass. A little hop over one more blocker.
McLeod 9, feeling on cloud 9 with that one because she was able to get through that initial in the shortest time she'd been able to complete it this bout, and has likely earned a point or two for the Killa Bees already. And we'll see
I'm sure
just how much.
Killa Bees have a few in the pocket. Yep, 2 points on the board for the Killa Bees on that jam.
And I know that's a win for McLeod 9 because she's such a positive presence on the bench and such a positive presence out on the track, and she scores her victories in these sorts of moments, and that's really going to be one for her to take and roll with for the rest of the weekend.
Fantastic.
Hey, we've seen this matchup before.
Yeah. I always like this. I always like these matchups.
Smash, though, trying to smash his way through, doesn't quite work. Got some blockers getting in the way, but manages to spin out.
Ooh. Rice Ball takes a bit of a fall there up on corner 2. Grandmaster Smash just wants so badly to put some points on the board for his team, and he was so close. He just needed like 20 more feet.
I feel like he might have dreams about that. You know, there's always those moments where you're like, I was so close. And then, of course, Rice Ball, I just love how he has to turn when he calls off the jam, too. Like, I can see you.
Like, I'm going to turn. Oh, yep. Call it.
But that's what makes Derby fun, and I love it. The sportsmanship has been so phenomenal.
Jam is on, and we've got a new jammer. Actually, number 89 for Killa Bees. This is her second jam only.
It is, yeah. Second time we've seen Captain Pippi Longstompings out there. She is a powerhouse when she's out there, so it's really great that they've decided put her out on the line, use her in that way. But as I say that, Bastard Crash able to so easily get by on the outside.
Killa Bees are doing their best to give some offensive help. So one thing with offense is that you have to watch for it. You have to have the patience to wait for it to happen. But oftentimes what will happen is that jammers will get a little bit tunnel visioned, and then they get swept out by their offense too. So that's kind of what was happening, but she did get out for her initial pass. So PP Longstockings is now scoring if she can get into that pack. Whew.
Yeah, meanwhile, the pack is sped up, and Bastard Crash says, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I actually had another point too, Clumsy, because I've seen this a number of times, not only in this tournament but elsewhere, is the effectiveness of offense, but in finding the right blocker to target. Because I have seen a lot of the time sometimes where that blocker isn't making contact with your jammer, and so you're providing an effective offense.
Yeah, oftentimes blockers will go in to do some offense, but they're hitting everybody else but the person who's on the jammer. So it goes both ways, absolutely.
And we have a Reese out there with a star for the Bees, and Sparkette, who's been donning the pivot helmet cover lately, back with a star.
Yeah. Little toe stop, run down the straightaway.
That has to be captured on someone's photograph somewhere, because
Absolutely.
the amount of times we've seen that sprint maneuver from Sparkette, Big smile on their faces. Pick up 4 points there. And we haven't even been able to talk about the phenomenal blocking we're seeing. I know Natural Born Thrillers has a big lead on the scoreboard, but just their ability to know exactly where to fill the holes on the track, that is what has caused that differential to be so great.
Yeah, absolutely. The lateral movement from the blockers on the Natural Born Thriller line has been absolutely exceptional.
And we see a call for a star pass. Reese able to stay in bounds when Amanda Stroyer was not able to hear the call. Like I said, it's pretty loud in this venue.
It is. It is.
She's able to get by. It actually worked really well. I think that was the right decision to try to fight through there.
Yep, yeah. Removing the star and causing the chaos is like the first step of passing the star. And sometimes you go with plan A, and then sometimes plan B works out better.
And this is also just the power of how much Derby has evolved. When I started 3 years ago, which isn't that long ago, you could still fully stash the star.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can't do that now, and yet it still creates the chaos you want, is phenomenal. It just speaks to the power of the changes that we're seeing in the sport.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Darkwheel Duck gets a piece of rice ball there.
Hitting him to the inside.
Oh, but lead goes to rice ball. And we definitely have not seen this in the tournament so far, Clumsy. Do you want to describe what we're seeing?
We are seeing that the Natural Born Thrillers, according to the stat sheet here, has had lead 100% of the time in this half. Is that correct? Is that what that says?
That's this half.
Yeah, we have confirmation from our producer, Sonia Blade. And that speaks volumes. I mean, that's why you're seeing the point differential where it's at. And as we say that, Darkwheel Duck has to take a seat in the penalty box. I know that stings quite a bit, just as much as that pun that I just made.
Yes, the killer
that was unintentional. Okay, Rice Ball still on the track, and he's known for being the point collector when he's out there.
Yeah, he scored a 24-point jam in the first half. And so far he's up at 12 already for this jam.
All right, the Killa Bees blockers, Hot Rod and Ripper bouncing together there to keep Rice Ball at bay, and that does give Darkwheel Duck some time to get back into the thick of things. He's inbounds and completes that initial pass. And once again, those Natural Born Thriller blockers are in the right place. Oh!
On 1 foot! What? Rice Ball sneaks by on that inside line on a single foot with a big smile on his face and calls it off, bringing this game to its conclusion. Unbelievable.
I apologize to anyone whose ears may have been blown, but I have to react. It was right in front of, that was just one of those moments where you're like, what on earth am I even witnessing right now? You know, it was an incredible game. As I always say, the point spread is the point spread. Natural Born Thrillers, 349, unofficial, final score, and Killa Bees, 59, but boy, what we saw out there, you could learn so much, and I just want to take all of the lateral movements and work on that, because that is fantastic.
It's been a fantastic game to watch and announce, and it's been great announcing with you, Nella.
Is this our first time?
I think so. Yeah.
It's our first time. That
popped the cherry.
So once again, we want to thank you for watching the stream so far. There's still more Derby happening today. There's one more bout.
That's right. I'll be coaching the Living Dead, taking on nuclear-free roller derby. So NFRD versus EVRD.
It's going to be great. Yeah, they're in the Alberta bracket.
That's right.
And so there's going to be much more action. And then, of course, we're back again for 2 more days, so stick around. We want to thank you. We also want to thank the wonderful hosts of this tournament, Calgary Roller Derby, Chinook City Roller Derby, who so far day one has been fantastic. I know it's only going to get better from here. We want to thank Saskatoon Roller Derby League, Chinook City Roller Derby League for that great bout that we just witnessed. I'm Death Nella.
And I'm Clumsy Lover.
And stay tuned for more Derby action from Flat Track Fever 2019, a WFTDA recognized tournament.